A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage.
When we were beginning in 1972 with the launch of Index, I don't think we ever anticipated that 44 years later one of its members would be standing in front of you. But I am. And I think at the time in 1972, I came across a quotation from a Roman historian. In fact, Pliny the Younger was the nephew of Pliny the Elder. And he made a remark which has lived with me, and I'd like to think reflects accurately Index. He said, if you want to encourage and please your reader, make sure that you infuse your writing with happiness.
The dogs of war are loose again, cold blows the wind to me. And widows weep for fallen men they weep again, cold blows the wind to me.
When I did the research for this album, the Unsongs album, where I've been collecting censored songs from all over the world, I found a lot of inspiration in the Smashed Hits magazine that was launched in 1998. It doesn't only give an overview of all the forms and types and places where censorship happens. It also has been a great doorway to meeting people who can tell me more about this issue. I mean, I've contacted many of the writers in that magazine, and it has really helped me in this project. So Index of Censorship has definitely contributed to making this album, Unsongs, into what it became.
The power of magazines remains as relevant as ever, and I think Index of Censorship is a perfect example of a magazine using print in a very powerful manner. But it's not. We're not sort of exercising a nostalgic project with this shop. This is full of newer magazines made by young people for young people. The print is still very much alive.
Well, it's interesting. One of the issues that I've decided is my favourite is one I found at home when I was clearing out junk, and it's an issue we did around 2004 on migration. The whole issue is about the problems of refugees, of refuge, of migration. And I thought that, as in so many things, Index was ahead of the field in covering this subject. I thought about it, and I couldn't quite think why we'd done it then. But I think 12 years later, we proved once again to be prescient, to be looking at things that many people don't look at.
In 1979, I put this issue to bed, which is the Brazil issue, and I knew that that night, I would give birth to my first child. So this issue means a lot to me. I have a copy at home, and it was quite a lot of fun.
Index is equal to resilience. Index seeks out oppressed voices. Index tells them yes. They've distributed millions of megaphones to amplify the silenced, to alert our comfy Western world to brutality, gagging, violence, bolster our empathy, stoke the embers of our sense of justice. They celebrate the bravest folk to tramp across this planet. It takes guts and grits to consistently publish this stark and dangerous truth. So tonight I'd like you to join me in raising a glass to Index on Censorship, that clear and knelling voice of free expression.